Well, we all know the old saying about helping someone get a leg up on things. Well, this story, however, is about helping get a leg down and return to its rightful owner. You see, skydiver Chris Macris was jumping in Vermont when he lost his prosthetic leg, and he didn't know where it landed. He said, "I think my adrenaline was so high and I was so excited, I didn't even realize I had lost it." Macris posted about his lost leg on social media, and would you believe it, a local farmer saw the post and began watching the field during his soybean harvest. Lo and behold, he discovered the leg with only a few scratches on it. I'm glad he didn't run over it with his tractor and turn it into dust. That's better. But now, leg and owner are reunited.
Hey,
Yeah.
Governor, you know, you don't have to, have a parachute to skydive, but you do need a parachute to go skydiving twice.
I bet you do, yeah.
I read that.
Yeah.
Well, you know how some people like this guy enjoy skydiving to get the old adrenaline rush. Well, you know what I like to do?
No.
I go down to Bass Pro Shop and put Biden-Harris 2020 stickers on pickup trucks.
Yeah, that ought to. Keith, that's pretty edgy. But let's go back to Mr. Macris, because he said losing his leg actually turned into a positive experience. He said we kind of take for granted sometimes how many truly good people there are left in the world. So we're all glad that this story turned out for the best, thanks to good neighbors. And if I can close this story with my advice, it would be this. If at first you don't succeed, skydiving is not for you.
Oh. Wisdom, wisdom.
Yeah. All right, from our Never Let 'Em See You Sweat file, an Indian man named Il-Ayaram Sikar broke a Guinness World Record by solving 6 Rubik's Cubes in 2 minutes and 17 seconds while holding his breath underwater. That makes it even more special. There is a category in Guinness for that. He says he is the first person in Asia to attempt this record. Well, let's say he's the first person to resurface and tell anyone about it, that's for sure. But there is a quartet over there that sings underwater. Yeah, they sing acapella. This story actually reminds me of that role that politics usually plays in Rubik's Cubes. When I first got one, it just didn't click for me.
Yeah.
But then my friend told me all I had to do was use algorithms. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, Sikar said he wanted to inspire his students, which makes it all the more of a shame that Guinness disqualified him for not wearing a breathing mask while solving Rubik's Cubes underwater. No, I'm just joking. That's only the law in California, where I'm sure it is. Now, who'd like to see me try to break that record?
Yes.
Well, don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath over that one. Ain't happening. All right, when you stay at a hotel, what are the things that bug you most? Long check-in lines, slow service, or maybe pesky emus wandering the halls on your floor. Yeah. Down in Australia, 2 emus named Kevin and Carol are now banned from the Yarraka Hotel in Queensland. Oh, now they're banned, yeah. Well, see, the big birds were raised to be friendly and a source of entertainment for the guests by an animal rescuer. Back then, guests enjoyed them, and they even posted, wait for it, emojis on social media.
Yeah.
But then Kevin and Carol, the emus, learned how to climb the stairs. This allowed them to get inside the hotel, and boy, did the feathers fly. They were grabbing diners' food in the hotel pub and even managed getting behind the bar and breaking things, and then, unfortunately, relieving themselves on the floor. Now, those big birds would be hard to get out of the hotel, but the owners managed,
Governor, I realize emus are large, aggressive. They can't even fly.
True.
But I feel like those people are kind of ostrich-sizing those 2 birds. You think?
Hey, Keith.
You think?
Hey, you keep up those horrible puns, and I'm going to call security.
Yes.
I don't blame you.
Look, you're important to this show, but you are not immovable.
Oh. Put me in my place.
In order to stop the emus from entering, they put up a large rope with a sign saying, "Emus have been banned from this establishment for bad behavior." Hotel co-owner Jerry Gimblett said this. He said, "We put the sign up, but we're not quite sure whether they're able to read or not."
That's something to think about.
Well, so far, hotel patrons have made sure to put the rope back after they enter the hotel staircase, and all is well. Gimblett said, if they had control of their bowels, the emus would be welcome inside. Yeah, I'm
Too
sure
much
that's
information. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that's the same thing the owners require of their patrons on a Friday night in the pub, so it's not that unusual. Now, I know this was a bit of a unique story, but I hope you found it amusing. I think we're moving on here. I really do. All right, I've heard of people getting stuck with a house, but how about a house that you could get stuck in? Over 1 million people online have viewed a real estate listing for a house in Deerfield, Illinois, that appears to be no more than 2 feet deep from front to back. I guess you'd have to be pretty shallow to live there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And by the way, it was not a house designed by Frank Lloyd Wrong. And it is not a home for retired fashion models. It's actually an optical illusion. The house is also nicknamed the Pie House, probably because it's like having a slice of a house rather than having the whole thing. Now, the photo only shows the skinny end where the pie slice comes to a point. That's the side that you couldn't fit into it, even if you, and especially if you eat pie.
Governor, did I ever tell you about my nephew Lenny's interview to be a real estate agent?
No.
Yeah. Well, Lenny thought it was going to go well until the realtor pointed out. Says here on your resume, you quit your last job selling duct tape after only 3 months. Why did you quit? Well, my nephew Lenny said, I just couldn't stick with it.
You're kidding me, right?
Yeah, no, that's what he said.
Gosh.
Hey, Keith, do you know what realtors have to be thankful for?
I don't know.
Lots. They have lots
Lots.
to be thankful for.
Yeah.
Back to the house. They are asking $270,000 for that house, so they maybe better come with a basement full of pies, I think, something like that. Okay, now for a Fox News alert. And I'm not talking about Fox News, but Fox News. See, people in Berlin, Germany have been struggling with the shoe thief. That's right, one neighborhood has been hit hard, and resident Christian Meyer decided not just to be a loafer, and instead to be the sleuth to the sneaky sandal, fitness, and walking shoe thefts. By the way, I used to have a friend who made clown shoes for a living. Believe me, it was no small feat. On to our amateur gumshoe. Meyer followed up on a neighbor's tip and discovered that the criminal was a fox. He spotted the fox with a pair of blue flip-flops and followed him back to some bushes, where he crawled around and discovered over 100 shoes in the brush.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Now, while Mr. Meyer found shoes of every sort, it seems that Crocs were the fox's favorite footwear.
Makes sense, yeah.
Hey, you know what a fox eats when he's in a hurry?
I'm afraid to ask.
Rabbits. You know why? Because they're fast food. Fast food. I said rabbits, you know. Anyway, back in Berlin, most of the fox's victims have been reunited with their shoes, except for Christian Meyer, whose stolen sneaker is still missing. Well, before we wrap this story, I do have a question for Keith.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what you call a fox that can pick up an elephant?
No.
Sir.
Yes.
You call that fox holding an elephant over his head, sir. That's what you call it. Yeah.
I would, yeah.
Yeah. Finally tonight, we want to, and boy, aren't you glad I'm getting to the finally.
Yeah.
We wanted to reach out to millennial males who may be getting ready to be dads, but have not yet prepared for just the responsibilities of having a newborn. Authors Kelly and David Sopp have a book entitled Safe Baby Handling Tips. It's on Amazon right now, and it might be a great help for some nervous first-time parents. We want to focus on you, dad-to-be in particular, to make sure to show you just how you can impress your bride and your first child with some of these tips. All right, first off, this is the right and wrong way to put a child in a car seat. Can you see that?
Wow.
Yeah. And when you're testing your baby's bottle, no tongue.
No tongue.
Just wrist. That's all you, don't taste, don't do that.
Yes.
Now, Dad, always be sure to swaddle the baby with a towel to dry them. Never use the dryer just because the big game is coming on soon. That is a no-no. And finally, please do not use the hand in the diaper to check if it needs changing. No. I mean, remember, there's lots more funny advice for your parents in the safe baby handling tips that you can get at your favorite bookseller. Now, just like that new dad's hand in the back of the diaper, we got to get out of here. But always remember that we read the news. Wait, don't click that button. Well, unless it was the subscribe button, and then carry on. And while you're down there, hit that little notification bell too. Oh, and if you leave a like and a comment, I will personally give my dog Toby a treat.